Well, the idea of there being some sort of deal between Reform UK and the Tories, that's been put to bed in very strong fashion by Reform. And of course, the amount of nonsense being thrown at Nigel Farage and Reform at the moment, even now, the Tories not able to take a seat off Reform that Reform were defending. Very well done. I understand this is quite a hard fought local council by-election this week. Well done to Councillor Owen Ferran, new Reform councillor, Reform holding that seat. But yeah, we saw last night this story being put about, came out from the Financial Times, that apparently Nigel said there'd be some sort of deal with the Conservatives. I mean, look, before I get to what Nigel has actually said on this, let's just establish one thing, okay? The problem with the Conservative Party ultimately is that they are followers, not leaders. So they introduce net zero that is deindustrialising this country, that is raising energy prices, and now they want you to believe suddenly they'd do something about it if you gave them another chance. They were an anti-Brexit party led by a Conservative Prime Minister, Conservative leader and Chancellor who were for Remain, campaigned for Remain. In government, they were pro-ECHR, they were pro-mass immigration, indeed took it to new ridiculous levels, and were pro, of course, very, very high taxes. Now, because they face electoral annihilation, they want you to believe that, oh, give us another chance, old chap, and we'll do everything differently next time. Yeah, all right then. But you can see the reality of the situation that party now faces. On course for 14 seats at the next election versus Reform in the same poll on course for 348 seats. So you tell me who's desperate for a deal here. And don't forget, this comes before the consequences of the Conservatives' decisions and their legacy in government. That all comes at them very fast next year before the general election, because when you look in Wales, for instance, Reform have close to 3 times the level of support of the Tories now. You can see here in Scotland, for the Scottish Parliament elections next year, Reform support is more than double that of the Conservatives. And so I think it's very clear here who's desperate for a deal. It's not Reform. And you can see Nigel Farage responding to this fake news, saying that after 14 years of dishonesty and lies, the Tories should never be forgiven, and that the idea he'd work with them is ludicrous, and referring to those elections to be held next May, the Tories will then cease to be a proper national party. You've got Zia Youssef also saying that this story is the definition of fake news. There'll be no deals ever with the failed Tory party who are headed for extinction. So I think that's pretty clear. Do let me know your thoughts though on all of that in the comments below. Please do whack this video a quick thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. And of course, as ever, cheers for watching.